let me teach you how to become a strict babe. Welcome to Becoming a Strict Babe 101. Hey guys, what's up? It's your babe, Miss Mary Ash. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining our community and staying here. And if you're a new person here, welcome to where all the fun and the vibes is. Don't forget to subscribe, tell a friend, to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell because we'll be having more videos like this coming out weekly with more fun content. Okay, so as a certified strict babe, I thought that I would give you guys the cheat code. Look, in this day and era, you can't be caught sleeping. As a woman, you need to be on your tips, right? You need to know exactly what you need to be doing to protect yourself and to have boundaries, you know? And I feel like that is the very definition of a strict babe. It's not necessarily a mean person like the way everyone likes to, you know, portray it. I just think it's someone who has boundaries, who has a high sense of self-respect, dignity, and does not like to be played with. And if you want to become a strict babe, a leveled up babe, come closer. Listen up. First of all, one thing we do is we stand on what we said we're going to do, even when we don't feel like it. Yeah? What does that mean? If I said that if you do this and this and this to me, I will block you. When you do A, B, and C, D, I will block you. Whether I feel so much compassion, whether I feel like I will miss you is very relevant to the tale, because the point is we are dealing with what is the principle. The principle is I have been disrespected. The principle is that I told you that this results to this results, to these consequences, sorry. And so if you are going to continue to make that choice, then it means you have made that choice yourself. And so I have to move accordingly. And so one thing about being strict is that you have to make sure that what you're yapping, it's easy to yap, baby, but you have to stand on what you're yapping about, even when you might not feel like it. If you said that you're a woman of integrity, you're a woman of honesty, you will be honest. Almost always. I mean, I know, you know, we all have white lies here and there, so I'm going to leave room. No one's saying you have to be perfect, but you absolutely have to have some sort of stand ground when it comes to everything that you spew into the public, because people don't really listen to what you're saying. People more so interpret what you're doing. And so if you're someone that seems to say so much, but then you don't really represent it across the board with your actions, that kind of doesn't make you necessarily strict. Tighten the belt and do what you need to do when you have to do it, even when you don't feel like doing it. 2, now this one is my personal favorite. Never be afraid to crash out.
Like, I'm just fed the fuck up. I can't take another minute of this bullshit. That's why 95% of the time I'm by myself. I don't deal with relationships. I can't stand that shit. I just can't.
Never be afraid to crash out. Let me tell you something. If in this life people know that things will always be easy going with you, no matter what they do to you, you're going nowhere. And the point of being a strict person is that you need to enforce boundaries. Boundaries are to protect you, not to protect the other person. But boundaries can only be enforced also by you, not by the other person. So one of the things that I'm always saying is that when you are someone that takes what happens in your life very seriously, when you take your peace very seriously, you will not allow to be played with. And one of the ways you ensure that people do not like to play with you is because they know there will be pushback. You will crash out. We'll have some words, we'll have some conflict. And by the way, crashing out does not mean that you need to be disrespectful to people. It does not mean that you need to come at people crazy. It just means that you need to stand your ground and confront people. Confrontation is very, very healthy. I think a lot of people run away from confrontation because it's uncomfortable. But confrontation is one of those things that, first of all, furthers intimacy, because it means we have had a conflict, and so now we know much deeper in terms of how the other person behaves, what they want, what they don't want, but also it allows us to have our places. And confrontation is your body saying, I'm not happy with this, or I need this to get done, or I need this communicated, so I'm going to communicate this to you. And that's very important. It's very important for you to communicate your feelings and not keep them bottled up inside. And one of the ways you can do that is through conflict. Conflict resolution is such a necessary skill to have. Honestly, I'm grateful for the university that I went for, because we even had classes on it. I think a lot of the times there's so many things that we think are a given, but are actually not really a given. And especially in a society where we're taught to kind of take whatever we can take and, you know, keep it pushing. Someone who pushes back, you might get pushback still, but you are guaranteed not to get what you didn't want in the first place because there's pushback. So crash out today. If that man is disrespecting you, There's nothing like, oh my God, I'm being soft, I'm being crash out. Crash out, crash out. I'm a big advocate for that because when people know that there'll be some sort of consequence for playing with you, the chances of them playing with you are much, much less likely. 3, access to you is a privilege.
Speaking to me is a privilege. You do not have privileges. Do you hear me?
When you are someone that respects yourself, it means you know what you bring to the table. It means you know your worth. It means you know what you do and what you don't do. It means you know what you will take and what you won't take. Because again, it's about boundaries. So if someone is crossing your non-negotiables or your boundaries, there's no time for, oh my God, why did you do this? Oh my God, is this the type of person you are? Let me see if I could have the answer from you. No. Now, I'm not saying do not have discussions about conflicts that you have. I just said that conflict resolution is very important. But there are certain things I want people to understand that it's not necessarily about the explanation. It's more about the choice that someone has made. If you get my gist. If someone has chosen to disrespect you publicly, you're a pregnant woman and your husband has chosen to go and sleep with another woman, I don't think, honestly, there's any relevant explanation that you need to be asking for. The choice is someone has chosen to disrespect you. And at that point, there should be nothing of, let's see if I can have this conversation. It means you're willing to surpass the disrespect. You're willing to surpass someone crossing your boundaries and embarrassing you in that way in order to have some sort of conversation. And my friend, that's not how us strict babes work. Yeah, we have boundaries in place. So at the end of the day, if you cross my non-negotiables, access will be removed. If you say out of pocket things, if you say misogynistic things to me, I think everyone knows this, but if you spew bigotry around me, blocked, cut off, removed. Because in this era, honestly, there are certain things that you can educate yourself on. You're choosing ignorance. So I will not allow you access to me. I will not stop you from doing what you need to do, because at the end of the day, boundaries are not about you controlling the other person. Please don't ever think that being strict means you're controlling someone else. No, guys. We don't have any control over anybody else and their actions. We have control over our own. The point of being strict is to master your own self. It's not about anyone else. It's about you. It's about how you move in this world and how you would like to be received in this world. You can't control anybody else. So don't try to project it onto someone else and say, excuse me, do it like this, do it like the other. No. It's about how you move accordingly. So if someone is disrespecting you, if someone is looking at you crazy, if someone is not even offering what you need to be offered to the table, one of the examples I can give to this is like careers, because we're talking about disrespect, but sometimes it doesn't always have to be disrespectful. Sometimes it could be something that is just not serving you, like you're in a business and you realize that what, this is not serving me, this is not serving my goals, my dreams, my purpose, whatever it is that you so choose. I feel like I should leave this behind. Being strict is understanding that whatever anyone else feels, whatever those people think, it's very important, but at the end of the day, what is the most important? Yourself. How do you feel about yourself? When you look in the mirror, are you proud of your choices? When you look in the mirror, are you proud to see who you're surrounding yourself with and the environment that you're in? If you are not, it's time to make a change. It's very important for you to communicate your boundaries through your actions, not your words. I think this one is very important for us to listen to, because I see this a lot in relationships, especially from women. When someone has crossed your boundaries, you say, you will not do this, you will not do that. I will communicate that you have crossed this and you've crossed that and you've done the other. I hate you for this, I hate you for that. All the while staying. Or all the while continuing to engage with this character. Sweetie, that is not enforcing boundaries. That is not communicating boundaries. The best way to get a message to be received is through how you behave. It is not through how you speak. A lot of the times, even to your own mind itself, the brain understands behavior. It doesn't understand words. You can't say I'm a superstar and then your brain believes you're a superstar. No. You do stuff every day that shows that you're a superstar, and your brain starts to say, oh, I think this is superstar behavior and I feel like a superstar. You have to reinforce behavior in order for your brain to understand some sort of message. That's why if you set a mantra and you don't do any action towards achieving that mantra, you might as well be wasting your time. Same thing with the other brains that you're communicating with, because all of us have brains. And at the end of the day, we're understanding one thing: your actions. So if you're someone that says you don't do this, you don't do that, you do the other through your words, but then every time these things come up or these scenarios come up, you're somehow engaging, then that can't be translated as someone who's strict. You have to stand by what you say you do through your actions, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, even when sometimes it might not necessarily be the easier thing to do. Sometimes the more difficult thing to do is the best thing to do. And I feel like as a strict person, that is something that I really live by. Sometimes it's much easier to want to be palatable to people. It's easier to want to be known as the sweet person or known as the everyday chummy character, and that's great. But a lot of the times we know that if you're not careful with how you show yourself to people, they will take advantage. And it's only human. We all take the leash that we are given. You know, I'll keep pulling and pulling if you keep giving me a leash. And that is something that I'm very serious about, because at the end of the day, only you can protect yourself. Lastly, and this is my personal favorite, absolutely no one is bigger than the program.
You ain't bigger than the program, baby. You gotta either get with the program or get off the program. Because if you come around fucking up the program, we can't have you in the program.
No one is bigger than the program. Do you know what the program is? It is you. What Ainomcha wants, what Ainomcha envisions, what Ainomcha loves, what Ainomcha needs. That is the program. Not your partner, not your family, not your boss, not anybody else comes before the program. And I know that sounds a bit cold. It sounds a bit detached. It sounds as if it's removing the need for community and society. No. Do not mistake me. I know that as we introduce this concept of people wanting to be individuals more than being just a part of some group setting, it gets a lot of backlash because people are very uncomfortable with being seen as separate identities, especially with our characters. But let me tell you, you are an individual first before you're part of a group. You are an individual first, always, before you're part of a group. When you came into this world, you are alone. And at the end of the day, you have separate needs, you have separate understandings, you have separate desires, and that's okay. I like to think of our families as these spaces, like our mother's womb is like a cooking pot, and it brought us out into this world. You are your own person. You're not an extension of anybody else. You are your own person. You have your own DNA, you have your own code, you are your own person completely. And so that means you have to integrate within a society, which is very important for your character and for your development. However, primarily your brain, you see, your brain, it's not designed to help others survive with you. It's designed to help you survive first. This is evolution. Understand me when I say that if you do not prioritize yourself, no one is prioritizing you. How can I prioritize you when you don't prioritize yourself? That doesn't even make sense. And how do you do that? Understanding that you are the program. I am the program. When you're looking at, I'm always telling my friends, if you're going to do a degree, please look at yourself and ask yourself, before you think of anyone else that you think you're doing it for, it is you who's going to sit in that degree. It is you who's going to have to answer those exams. It's you who's going to have to be stressed out, not your parent. They did their things a long time ago. They got their degrees. Whatever they got is their business. And you have to look at yourself and understand that you have to live with what you have to live with at the end of the day, whether someone is disappointed or not. I will be frank with you, no matter how cold this comes out. If you have to choose between disappointing someone else and yourself, you better choose yourself. I will repeat that. Choose yourself. In a society where you're taught multiple times to choose everyone else at the expense of your own, all you're going to age with is resentment. Resentment, anger, unlived dreams. And as someone who has watched people around me grow up with that type of behavior, I am very against it. I genuinely believe in living your life the way you deserve to live it. And so that means absolutely no one is bigger than the program over here. If I love this boy and he starts to disrespect me and he makes me feel like he doesn't love me anymore, have a great time. If this person is doing this and this and this and it's out of line and does not align with where I am going, have a great life. Because at the end of the day, nothing, no one is above the program. The program is myself. Yeah? I hope I've taught you something here today, and I hope that this starts a conversation on interrogating our own beliefs and values, our systems. What are we really believing in? What do we think these things mean? You know, and I think it's very important out of jesting that you understand what it really means to be a strict person. This could apply to even guys. You need to have boundaries. As a human being, one of the ways that we are taken advantage of is lack of boundaries. So if you have a story, or if you understand and relate to someone who doesn't have really that strong of boundaries or understand of how to communicate their self-respect, in the comment section, or DM me across all my social media platforms. That is at Miss Mary Ash, and I'll for sure be sharing on that and be responding. Thank you guys for staying. If you watched the video till the very end, you're amazing. I love you. See you guys next time, and don't forget to visit Hotel Athena Best Western Plus. It's in Bugolobi around Bandali Rise. As you can see, that is where I'm shooting from today. It's a beautiful ambience. Thank you so much. See you guys next time.